Stop scrolling and listen. I'm about to share something so powerful that even the darkest spiritual forces can't touch you if you do this on the morning of January 19th. It's simple, it's ancient, and it starts with something you already do every day, something most people overlook, but it could change your spiritual life completely. Here's the truth: your mornings are sacred. That first moment after you wake up, it's when your body, your energy, and your spirit are most receptive. By using your early morning urine in a focused, intentional way, you're not practicing witchcraft. You're claiming your power, cleansing yourself, and creating a shield no negative force can penetrate. This isn't about superstition. It's about activating energy that's already inside you, turning it into a fortress around your spirit. Timing is everything when it comes to harnessing spiritual energy, and nowhere is this more evident than in the early hours of the morning. The moment you wake up, your mind and body are in a unique state, calm, clear, and highly receptive. Your energy isn't cluttered by the stress, distractions, or negative influences of the day yet, which makes it the perfect window to set intentions, protect your spirit, and create a powerful personal shield. Think of it as a fresh canvas. Whatever you do or focus on first thing will leave a mark on your day, shaping your energy and your interactions. The morning carries a symbolic weight in nearly every culture because it represents beginnings, renewal, and opportunity. It's not about superstition. It's about understanding cycles and using them to your advantage. Engaging in a ritual at this time, whether it's meditation, affirmations, or even an unconventional practice, like using early morning urine in a focused way, amplifies the effect simply because the body and spirit are most aligned. This alignment means your intentions are stronger, your focus sharper, and the energy you generate more potent. Timing also creates consistency. By choosing a specific moment, like the early hours of January 19th, you condition yourself to harness that day's energy consciously rather than drifting through it passively. Many people underestimate the power of these first moments, but those who don't waste them often experience greater clarity, confidence, and resilience against negativity. Timing transforms simple actions into meaningful rituals. The same act performed at the wrong time can feel ineffective or hollow. It's a subtle but profound principle. The when can be just as important as the what when it comes to spiritual practices. Mastering this allows you to take control of your energy in a way that feels natural, empowering, and deeply personal. Personal empowerment is the cornerstone of any spiritual or transformative practice because it shifts your focus from fear and external forces to your own ability to influence your life. So often people feel vulnerable because they think negative energies, bad luck, or spiritual attacks are beyond their control. The truth is that the moment you take conscious action, you reclaim authority over your own energy. Empowerment begins with choice, the decision to act deliberately rather than passively. When you perform a ritual, even one as simple as using your early morning urine in a focused, intentional way, it's not about the act itself being magical. It's about what it represents. You taking control of your spiritual well-being. This mindset transforms fear into confidence because you no longer rely on outside forces to protect or define you. Every small step toward conscious action reinforces the belief that your spirit is resilient and that your intentions carry weight. Empowerment also grows through awareness. By understanding that your energy, focus, and attention shape your interactions with the world, you stop seeing yourself as a passive participant and start seeing yourself as a creator of your reality. It's about internal strength, knowing that no matter what happens externally, your spirit has a shield built from your decisions, focus, and clarity. Personal empowerment is contagious. The more you practice it, the more you radiate confidence, and that energy alone can deter negativity or manipulation. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or mystical knowledge. It only requires you to recognize your own capacity to influence your life. This sense of control over your spiritual and mental state fundamentally changes how you approach challenges, interactions, and opportunities, turning moments of potential vulnerability into moments of strength, clarity, and self-assurance. Symbolic cleansing is a powerful concept because it allows you to externalize the process of letting go of negativity, fear, and anything that drains your energy. Humans are naturally drawn to rituals that represent purification, and the act of cleansing, whether through water, fire, smoke, or even bodily substances, has been used across cultures for centuries to reset the spirit. When you use early morning urine in a focused and intentional way, it functions as a symbolic tool, not a literal source of magic. The symbolism lies in taking something personal and natural from your body and directing it with intention toward releasing negativity or creating a protective barrier. By performing this act consciously, you are acknowledging that negative energy exists, but that you have the ability to remove it from your personal space. It becomes a statement. I will not carry the weight of fear, doubt, or spiritual interference into my day. Symbolic cleansing also works psychologically. When you commit to a ritual, your mind begins to interpret it as a real form of release. This mental reinforcement strengthens your focus, amplifies your confidence, and cultivates a sense of clarity. Your spirit feels lighter, and your perception of control increases. Rituals like this are not about superstition, but about creating a tangible action that mirrors your internal intention. It's the difference between thinking about change and actually initiating it in a way your body, mind, and spirit can register. The act becomes a bridge between the inner and outer world, turning abstract desires for protection and clarity into something concrete. Symbolic cleansing reminds you that your energy is yours to manage, and that conscious, intentional acts, even small ones, can serve as powerful tools for removing spiritual and emotional obstacles. It transforms daily routines into moments of profound personal significance. Spiritual protection is about creating boundaries that safeguard your energy from negative influences, whether they come from other people, environments, or unseen forces. It's not about fear or paranoia. It's about awareness and conscious action. Every person carries an energetic field, often called an aura, which interacts with the energy around them. Just as a physical body needs armor in dangerous situations, the spirit benefits from practices that strengthen and shield it. Engaging in intentional rituals, such as using early morning urine on January 19th with focus and purpose, acts as a way to reinforce this shield. The method itself is secondary. What matters most is the deliberate act of asserting control over your energy. Spiritual protection also functions on multiple levels. On a psychological level, performing a protective ritual increases confidence and reduces vulnerability to anxiety or fear, which in turn strengthens the aura because your internal state reflects outwardly. On a symbolic level, it signals to yourself, and even subconsciously to others, that your energy is guarded and intentional. Protection is about cultivating resilience, not avoiding life's challenges. It allows you to engage with the world while maintaining clarity and focus, preventing negativity from seeping into your mindset or your day. This is why timing, intention, and belief matter. A protective act performed with awareness carries far more weight than one done out of habit or without focus. Strengthening your spiritual boundaries is not a one-time act. It is reinforced through repeated mindful practice, creating layers of protection that build over time. By prioritizing spiritual protection, you reclaim authority over your energy, ensuring that you move through life with purpose, confidence, and an unshakable sense of self, impervious to the harmful influence of external forces. If you want me to show you exactly how to do this step by step and how to maximize its spiritual impact, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to reclaim their power. Belief amplifies power because the mind and spirit are deeply interconnected, and the intensity of your intention often determines the effectiveness of any action you take. When you approach a practice with full focus, confidence, and clarity, you send a signal to yourself and the universe that you are fully invested in the outcome. This is why rituals, even unconventional ones like using early morning urine on January 19th, are effective, not because of the material itself, but because your belief gives it energy. The human mind is wired to respond to symbols, patterns, and purposeful acts. When you invest belief into a ritual, your subconscious begins to align with your conscious intention, reinforcing the action on multiple levels. Belief also shapes perception. When you truly believe that a protective act shields your spirit, you notice fewer negative influences, feel more resilient in challenging situations, and naturally repel low vibrational energy. The act becomes a self-fulfilling process. Your confidence creates boundaries. Your boundaries protect your energy, and your energy strengthens your spirit. Additionally, belief fosters consistency. When you trust in the power of your actions, you are more likely to perform them deliberately, repeatedly, and with full presence, which increases their effectiveness over time. Skepticism or half-hearted participation, on the other hand, dilutes impact because your energy is scattered and unfocused. Amplifying power through belief is not about denying reality or pretending to have control. It's about recognizing that your focus, intention, and mindset are tools capable of shaping your experience. When belief is present, even simple actions take on extraordinary significance, transforming ordinary moments into powerful opportunities to protect, cleanse, and strengthen your spirit, giving you a profound sense of agency over your life. Many spiritual practices have deep historical and traditional roots, and understanding this context can make modern rituals feel more powerful and grounded. Across cultures, the morning has always been considered a sacred time, a moment when the world is quiet, the mind is clear, and the connection between the physical and spiritual realms is strongest. Ancient civilizations often performed purification and protective rituals at dawn, recognizing that the first light of the day carried energy for renewal, clarity, and strength. These practices were never random. They were based on careful observation of natural cycles, the human body, and the mind's receptivity during the early hours. Rituals involving personal substances, water, herbs, or simple gestures were used to cleanse the spirit, set intentions, and establish boundaries for the day ahead. When you engage in a practice like using early morning urine intentionally, you are participating in a lineage of human understanding that values timing, focus, and symbolic action. While the specifics may differ, the principle remains the same. Early morning acts performed with awareness are a form of aligning yourself with natural rhythms and reinforcing personal power. Historical context also adds psychological weight. Knowing that humans for centuries have trusted the same timing, the same principle of intentionality, and the same methods of purification strengthens your belief and magnifies the impact of the ritual. It shows that these actions are not mere superstition, but reflections of centuries of experimentation, observation, and practical wisdom about energy, focus, and protection. By connecting modern practices to their traditional roots, you validate your actions and give them depth, reinforcing both the spiritual and psychological benefits, while honoring the timeless human understanding that the first moments of the day are uniquely potent for shaping your energy and protecting your spirit. The psychological boost that comes from performing intentional rituals is often underestimated, but it plays a central role in strengthening both your mind and spirit. When you engage in a focused act, such as using early morning urine with intention, it is not simply a physical action. It becomes a mental signal that you are taking control of your life and your energy. The brain responds to intentional behavior by reinforcing confidence, reducing anxiety, and increasing clarity, because it recognizes that you are actively shaping your experience rather than being a passive participant. This sense of agency alone creates a profound mental shift. By committing to a specific time and action, you also establish structure and consistency, which the mind craves. Routines anchor your energy and provide a sense of stability, making it easier to maintain focus and resist distractions or negativity. Performing a ritual with belief and intention primes your subconscious to support your conscious goals, aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions toward protection, clarity, and empowerment. This psychological reinforcement magnifies the spiritual aspects of the practice, because when the mind feels secure and confident, your energy naturally becomes stronger and less susceptible to external interference. Moreover, the act of ritualizing something personal creates ownership over your spiritual and emotional state. Instead of waiting for circumstances to shift or for external forces to change, you signal to yourself that you have the tools and the authority to influence your reality. Over time, this repeated practice builds resilience, self-assurance, and a heightened sense of personal power. The psychological boost isn't just temporary, it accumulates, turning simple actions into meaningful habits that continuously reinforce your confidence, mental clarity, and spiritual protection, making you more grounded and empowered in every area of life. Consistency matters because the true power of any spiritual or intentional practice comes from repeated, focused action over time rather than a single, isolated effort. One ritual performed once may feel symbolic, but its effect is limited because energy, intention, and focus need reinforcement to create lasting impact. When you consistently engage in a practice like using early morning urine with purpose on a specific day such as January 19th, or even as part of a broader routine, you train your mind, body, and spirit to respond predictably to your intentions. Repetition strengthens neural pathways, deepens belief, and reinforces the mental and emotional associations connected to the ritual. This builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of control over your energy, making you less vulnerable to fear, doubt, or negativity. Consistency also sends a message to your subconscious that your intention is serious and unwavering, which amplifies the psychological and spiritual effect of the practice. Over time, small, consistent acts accumulate into profound change, much like drops of water gradually carving a channel through stone. Furthermore, repeated practice develops discipline, which is a key component of personal empowerment. It shows that protection, clarity, and spiritual strength are not dependent on luck or external circumstances, but on your own conscious decisions and actions. When you commit to a ritual consistently, it becomes integrated into your energy field, creating a habitual layer of protection and reinforcing the belief that you are capable of managing your spiritual and emotional state. In this way, consistency transforms simple symbolic acts into powerful, enduring tools that continually strengthen your mind, body, and spirit, ensuring that the benefits of your intentions grow stronger and more tangible with each repetition. In the end, what this all comes down to is power, your control, and your ability to shape your own energy. Every choice you make, every intentional act, and every moment you dedicate to protecting and cleansing your spirit reinforces that power. By understanding the significance of timing, embracing personal empowerment, using symbolic acts with focus, and trusting in the strength of your belief, you create a shield around yourself that no external force can penetrate. When you honor traditions, tap into psychological reinforcement, and remain consistent in your actions, you don't just perform a ritual, you cultivate a lifestyle of awareness, resilience, and spiritual clarity. This isn't about fear or superstition. It's about reclaiming authority over your energy and stepping into each day fully aligned, confident, and unstoppable. January 19th, or any moment you choose to act with intention, becomes more than a date. It becomes a declaration that your spirit is yours, that your focus is unshakable, and that no negativity, no matter how powerful it may seem, can touch you. By combining intention, action, and consistency, you transform ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities to strengthen yourself from the inside out, making your energy, your confidence, and your life stronger than ever before.